something, with all the distractions that you have off the field, how are you able to keep focused on winning football games as you do and do throughout the year?
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.
Marketing crew come up with that for him. Those were his phrases that he came up with, that he believed in.
Just win. Play hard. Try not to make mistakes. But don't worry about mistakes, because there's only one thing that counts. Just win. Just win.
Yo, welcome to the SC Raiders Talk, aka boy Eric, and we back. We back again for a live, man. I'm back. Of course, some good things to talk about today, man. A great win yesterday, actually, a win that was much needed, in my opinion, in a better time, one of the best times. Even though it's only been 2 weeks, it's pretty much the best time. And the reasons why? Because the schedule that is coming up and who we're facing in the next few weeks. But before we get into the Raiders versus Ravens recap, I want to shout out everybody that's in here so far, man. Shout out to Ray Love. What's good, Ray Love? Good to see you. You already know what it is. Oh, hold on. Here we go. Yup. Shout out to Rambo Adventures. Victory Tuesday. Well, you're in Thailand. That's true. Cheers for right now from Thailand. Shout out to Thailand. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Anthony Estrada. Salute. Good to see you. Hope all is well. Shout out to you. Cool Kev in the building. What Cool Kev? What up, Cool Kev? What's good, Cool Kev? Yup. Shout out to everybody coming in. Mass Circus in the building. Fire P. Fire Antonio P. Oh, wait a minute. We won. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. You already know what it is. And of course. Yep. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to also all eyes. I don't know if he's in here though. I'm gonna wait till he's in here. I think it's his birthday for sure. Yeah, cool Kev today. Yeah. So we're gonna wait till he comes up in here. But shout out to everybody, man. Hope all is well, of course. Sorry if I'm a little low energy, man. I'm a little bit under the weather today. Pretty bad, low key, but I'm here to do a live, man. Talk about all things Raiders today, and just talk about what happened yesterday, man. A great win, like I said. It couldn't come at a better time. The first half looked, we'll get to. You know what? We'll get to it. Let's get straight into it, right? Let's get straight into it. I want to first start off with the key player performances, man. We got to talk about the players before anything, in my opinion. I think that a lot of players stepped up. Now, the first 2 quarters, Eric having the Vegemite hangover, nah. The first half looked like pretty much the Charger game. I mean, the offense was non-existent. The defense was playing pretty damn good. They only allowed Baltimore to have 9 points, which is pretty damn good, because knowing the Ravens and their offense, they have some hard hitters over there, more than the Chargers, in my opinion. A better quarterback than the Chargers, a better receiving core than the Chargers, and running back is questionable because so far J.K. Dobbins has been playing better than Derrick Henry, but Derrick Henry is a workhorse at the end of the day, man. He's one of the best running backs when healthy and when he's up there. And a great coach over there. So for us to only prevent them to have 9 points in the first half kind of shows you how good this defense truly is. One of the hardest things it was for us was the rushing defense. And again, they allowed 151 yards to the Baltimore Ravens. pretty much between Derrick Henry, Justice Hill, and Lamar Jackson. So there's that, right? Um, Shout out to Robert Pena in the bed. It was good, Robert Pena. Good to see you. Hope all is well. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Hell not cool, Kev. What the fuck? But of course the rushing defense was the best. So we'll talk about the defense right now. But as far as key players, man, there's a couple players on my list, even coaching staffs as well. I should have put just key people in general, but of course, um, Devontae Adams, man, in that second half was one of the best ones there from downtown Seattle. Just wanted to give up guys props on the win, man. Shout out to Gibson, man. Welcome. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Shout out to Seattle, man. I appreciate you. But of course, Devontae Adams, man. You know, what can you say about Devontae Adams? He showed what he could get, man. He did have a horrible drop in the fourth quarter, which would have been a touchdown, but he ended up coming back, getting pretty much a great catch down the middle. Um, Tiptoed a great catch on the left side of the sideline. Um, 9 of 12 targets, 110 yards for him, scored a touchdown, which tied the game, obviously. And hey, like I said, that sideline, man, that sideline catch was crazy, was crazy. And then you have Mac. Hey, can we give it up to Max Crosby, man? Max Crosby once again. Shout out to Snoops Hernandez. What's good, Snoops? Good to see you. Hope all is well. Uh, there's more than a few right now that are feeling a little bit under the weather today after reaching the bottom of the JD bottle, celebrating the victory. I'm still not back on the AP train after the punt, but cussing out Getsy on the sidelines and changing the game plan was great start towards his redemption in my eyes. That's a fact. Um, Shout out to Avakazi Raider, man. I went a little earlier today, Avakazi. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. So I just might as well do it early. You feel me? Just to get it going. Um, but today I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, so I just wanted to go a little bit. You feel me? A little earlier for sure. And of course, Avakazi, I'm gonna hit you up soon, man. We gotta really do a collab, man. We haven't done one in a while. I gotta get you on for sure, man. Get your thoughts. Um, But shout out to you, man, and shout out to everybody, man. I gotta get a lot of people on, man, and it's the start. It's the start, man. It's the start. I know I've been saying it for the last 2 weeks, but it's the start, man. Gotta get people on. But also, hey, give it up for the rookie, man. The rookie, the first round pick. The we don't need a tight end, Brock Bowers. Man, 98 yards for the guy, man. Great fucking catches. I mean, great catches. I mean, there was some throws that were really good from Gardner Minshew. Uh, and also, not only that, Gardner Minshew also had a pretty bad throw in my opinion, a little bit too high up there. But of course, that's where the tight end could get it. And of course, Brock Bowers got up, caught the ball, and then still went for another 5 yards with like 6 different Ravens trying to tackle him. I wished he would have got the touchdown right there because I mean he deserved it right there on that specific drive. He had like 3 targets there, 3 catches in that drive. Great catches, by the way. And you know, Brock Bowers did his thing, man. First rookie tight end in NFL history with 50 catches the first 2 games. That's a fact, Rambo. And I mean, he's a dog, man, a dog. And when we got him, I said he was a generational talent. A lot of us said generational talent. He's showing it, man. And I said my bold prediction for the start of the year, I said he would be in the running for offensive rookie of the year, man. And he's showing it. He's showing it. He's showing it for damn sure, man. So, um, but Eric, we didn't need another tight end now. Y'all saw I was hyped when we drafted a weapon of mass reception. That's a fact, man. You know, I call him we don't need a tight end Brock Bowers, man. And I know a couple other people say the same thing, have the nickname from, but that's um, you know. And then I want to talk about you know, obviously I think you know, I'll talk about the defense right now, but I want to give a shout out to Gardner Minshew, man. And I think Max Crosby, this kind of intertwines between the two. And of course, I just gave Max Crosby some credit, man. He had 4 tackles for losses, 2 sacks, a pass breakup, and 2 quarterback hits. And that sack, man, at the end, to pretty much seal the deal, pretty much, you would say, where he chased Lamar Jackson 10 yards back and threw him to the ground. I mean, hey, man, Max Crosby, a dog, man. He heard the critics, man. He heard the critics, and you seen him. He shushed the whole crowd. He shushed the whole crowd. So shout out to him, man. But of course, what I like about Max Crosby, and we'll talk about, I seen Circus talk about Antonio Pierce to Luke Getty, and we'll get to that right now with the coaching staff. Max Crosby grabbed Gardner Minshew. He grabbed him by his pretty much his collarbone, pretty much, and said, "Hey, I got you, bro." I don't know if you guys seen that on the sideline when Gardner Minshew threw the interception. He grabbed Gardner Minshew and told him, "Hey, I got you. Come back and play lights out, man." He pretty much told him he got him. And that's the type of leadership I love to see, man. And you kind of seen when Gardner Mitchell went to the sideline, he looked defeated, man. I don't know about y'all, but I like to read people's facial expressions when it comes to players going on the sideline because it kind of shows you if they're mad, they're sad, or they're angry with somebody, or they're yelling at stuff like that. And he looked really damn disappointed. He looked devastated. I mean, he looked like he was checked out just by the way that interception did him. And of course, Max Crosby grabbed him and said, "Hey, I got you, man. Hey, go out there and redeem yourself." And Gardner Minshew in that fourth quarter, man, God damn him in the fourth quarter. I mean, even in the second half, I would say in general, towards the end of the third quarter and the whole fourth quarter, Gardner Minshew played lights out, in my opinion, man. He played like the quarterback that we should have, man. I'm not expecting him to do this. I'm not expecting him to play like Patrick Mahomes. I'm not expecting him to play like Lamar Jackson. I'm not expecting him to do this voodoo shit. But of course, he did it. I mean, he was throwing some goddamn dimes, bro. Like Rambo said there. And Circus, I was gonna get to that right now, but I'm glad you said that because that kind of throws me into the next one. In Spillane, man, he led the defense in tackles. He had 8 solo by himself. He had 2 pass breakups and a beautiful interception that I didn't even know it was an interception until he got up. He grabbed that ball away from the receiver, and holy shit, he could have took it to the house. I ain't gonna lie. He could have took it to the house if they allowed him to. And a great interception, a momentum swing for sure, man. That was a momentum swing for sure. And Spillane, man, showing that he's our best linebacker once again. And last year I said it, Spillane took a huge leap forward, man. A huge leap forward. Um, a huge leap forward and consistent and stuff like that. And at the end of the day, after what I seen Diablo do, I don't know about y'all. I do not know about y'all, but Diablo, man, has been proving me right this year. Last year, he proved me wrong. Diablo 100% proved me wrong last year. I said it, and I said it even after the season. I said Diablo last year was one of the best linebackers statistically and decent enough for us last year in our defense. And I said this last year where he proved me wrong. He proved me wrong. This year, he's been proving me right. Missed tackles, missing the gaps through the defense, horrible reads. I don't know about y'all, but Diablo, I don't know about Diablo, man. And I go like Gainer and Eichenberg, man. They're 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 uh they're doing this. They're doing this because they're seeing it, right? Um, But shout out to and that was Diablo, right? The one that got stiff arm? That was Diablo. Huh? Shout out to Kevin Lurker in the building. What's up, Kevin Lurker? Good to see you, man. Hit that like button, man. Subscribe if you're new. Anybody that comes in that's new, man. But hit that like button, man. And help out the algorithm, stuff like that. And you gotta give Daniel Money Makey Carlson, man. Daniel Money Makey Carlson, man. The money guy, man. Carlson. He came back perfect field goal percentage, man, and 2 for 50 plus yards, man. Shout out to him straight through the middle, man. Carlson, shout out to Carlson, man, for that as well. But let me talk about the little bit of the coaching staff. Shout out to Vic Sacramento in the building. Was good. But I want to talk about a little bit of the coaching staff. Um, Antonio Pierce, man, he had a questionable fourth down. I will say questionable fourth. I know in a lot of people's eyes, a lot of people were questioning the fourth down, going for it, and the play call in that fourth down. But in my opinion, I think Devontae Adams could have caught that for one. And for two, I think that they should have been doing that all pretty much all year since the Charger game. We've seen that the run game has not been good at all. And we'll talk about the losers. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna talk about the losers because at the end of the day, this is a great win. But we got to talk about some realistic shit. And some realistic shit out there is that there's not so good players out there that need to get changed 100%. But talking about Luke Getzey, Antonio Pierce, kind of like what Serkis said earlier, pretty much he came up to Luke Getzey and got in his face and said, "Hey, let's get it together." And you're seeing in that fourth quarter exactly what this offense is capable of with all these receiver pass catchers. You don't need Gardner Minshew to make 100% perfect throw every time because you got people like Brock Bowers that catches everything. You seen him. There were some horrible throws from Gardner Minshew, not horrible throws, but some throws that a lot of receivers would most likely drop. But for Brock Bowers, he caught it. Um, And at the end of the day, we don't need Gardner Minshew to be perfect, man. We just need him to do just enough. And you've seen these guys, this receiving core, show what they got with their hands. I know Devontae has had a couple drop, but at the end of the day, he redeemed himself and he showed what he could do. So for me, obviously, um, obviously Luke Getzey got it together towards the end. That's the type of play call. I'm tired of these end arounds. I'm tired of these dumbass 8 yards back screens. I'm tired of these run when the run game ain't working. Let these guys cook. Let the receiving core cook. You have a receiving core that is one of your strongest positions, and that's tight end and wide receiver, and even running backs that could catch the ball. Do that. Be pass heavy, bro. We will torch a lot of defenses out here being pass heavy. But the problem here, and of course, I didn't end up putting that as a topic, but I want to talk about the key players, is pretty much the non-key players, man, and pretty much the the losers, you could say, right? First of all, I don't know about y'all, but Colton Miller, man. Colton Miller, man. Once again, Colton Miller, man. Colton Miller, man. Colton Miller. I don't know what you want me to say about Colton Miller, man. Uh, shout out to Vic Sacramento. Says, I'm glad we got the win, but honestly, I have doubts with the offensive coordinator. And I'd rather have AOC think we would have smashed on the Ravens. Hey, man, you never know, man. But Gardner Minshew played pretty good, man. He played pretty good, and at the end of the day, I just need better play calling from Luke Getzey, man. I will agree there. I still have doubts in Luke Getzey, man, and I hope he continues to be consistent throughout the weeks. But of course, Colton Miller, he didn't look too good again. Allowed multiple sacks, multiple pressures, and it kind of shows, man, that surgery. And I said this, bro. I said this in the first week, and I'll say it again. I think that you should let the guy get healthy and get back into his rhythm. And playing these games ain't gonna help him. It's gonna be very physical. And at the end of the day, you see the rustiness off of the off season, not being in the off season. And shout out to all eyes, man. Happy birthday, brother. Happy birthday. I heard it's your birthday, stuff like that, man. Shout out to you. Shout out to you, man. But of course, um, you know, at the end of the day, Colton Miller is arguably, when healthy, our best offensive lineman. So, as much as I want to substitute him, I think it's too late. It's the third week now, man. We're heading into the third week. So, if you were gonna bench him, you should have benched him in the first week. In my opinion, bench him in the Charger game, and then obviously, have him for this game. He would have been more healthier. But obviously, you got to keep him at this point. Um, but another person, this offensive line, man, allowed 5 sacks, 10 QB hits. I mean, this offensive line is fucking atrocious. I mean, this offensive line is one of the worst in the NFL, statistically and eye test. Y'all could go see it for yourselves. If you think I'm joking, go see it for yourself. Go see it for yourself, bro. Cause holy shit. Holy shit, bro. Holy shit, bro. That that offensive line is atrocious, man. And at the end of the day, they need to get it together, bro. They need to get it together because at the end of the day, bro, they're not making anybody's life easier. And another person I want to say that I think should be benched, and I think should be benched in this third week. We're playing the Carolina Panthers team that obviously we'll get to the preview later on this week, Wednesday and Saturday, most likely. But Samir White, man, I think it's time to bench him. I know the offensive line hasn't been the greatest, But there is no excuses for the times they did block well, bro. Because there was moments where they were blocking well, and the vision was just not there. And I think Zamir White, man, 9 carries. Ah, this is just. Let me give you a little perspective here. 9 carries, 24 yards. It's bad when you're not only that, it's bad when your whole running back room is not there. You have DJ Turner. Guys, believe this, right? DJ Turner. DJ Turner was our second leading rusher. And guess how many yards DJ Turner had? Just just guess out there, y'all. Don't look at no box score. Don't look at none of that. Don't go, just guess how many yards DJ Turner had. And he's our second rusher, leading rusher. Mind this, Zamir White had 24 yards. Keep that in mind. Zamir White had 24 yards leading the thing. Guess how many DJ Turner had, and he was second in leading rushing. Circus said 20. Okay. Cool Kev says McAllister time. Circus says 20. Robert Pena says 40. 8, 35. He had 2 yards. 2. 1, 2. 2. DJ Turner had 2 yards rushing and our second leading rusher. 2. 2. You know how embarrassing that is? Our second leading rusher and 2 yards. Alexander Madison had 3 more carries than him and had 1 yard. And he had the touchdown, obviously. Amir Abdullah had 2 carries, 1 yard. Gardner Minshew had 1 carry, negative 1 yard. DJ Turner with 1 carry had 2 yards. And that was the second lead rusher. That is pathetic, bro. Pathetic, bro. That makes me a sad bad God damn. Now, bro, we're guessing all eyes is age JP. We're averaging like 2 yards a carry, worse in the NFL. That's a fact, Raiders till death. That's a fact. He said that's all a gas station bathroom. We need to pass to set up the run. It has been done many times before, and it showed in the fourth quarter. Hell no. All lies is like 52. No, I'm just kidding. He's like 52. But of course, I think the passing game needs to be there for the running game to be open. Because I thought that this year the running game needs to work for the pass game, but you see it in the fourth quarter, pass, and we look pretty damn good. So, in my opinion, I think that there needs to be a switch there. I think for sure, give some more burn to Lobby, Ben Madison, Abdullah, just to see what they got against a Carolina Panthers team to get them going. And I think it's time for Jackson Powers to come back, bro. Y'all see Jackson Powers on the sideline. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I don't know if you guys seen it when Devontae Adams caught that ball on the sideline. I think you seen Jackson Powers Johnson on the sideline. He was turned. He was lit. He was hyped. And that's the energy I like to see, man. We need Jackson Powers Johnson out there, man. I think it's time against the Carolina Panthers team that is struggling. And at the end of the day, a Carolina Panthers team, we don't need to underestimate. I'll get to it when the preview, obviously, but we don't have to underestimate them. Just because they're 0-2 doesn't mean they could kick the tires at any time. They can. So for me personally, this is the time where you bring in JPJ. You bring in you go out there and have your offense continue to roll and be consistent and get it going. Because the next few games, and obviously we'll talk about the future in a little bit, could look pretty good if you continue to be consistent, man. And shout out to the defensive play out there, man. I mean, I'm going to support me and you because he's a Raider, but man, JPG on the sideline, he's ready. It's a fact. And Dandy Dotty looking at the tape on Max and saying, damn, that's a fact, man. It's time to at least the Beast give sincere a call up. Nah, I'm just playing. That's a fact, man. It's sad when your 6'1" receiver has to use all 6'1" to catch a ball 6 foot at bounds. Thank God for Devontae Adams. That's a fact, man. That's a fact. That's a fact. And the thing is that I kind of talked about it a little bit earlier with Gardner Minshew. He makes some bad throws, but it shows you how good our receiving core is. And Gardner Minshew doesn't have to play lights out. He doesn't have to make every perfect throw. Make the throw that is just enough for the receiver to make a play, bro. Because the whole point of a receiver and a tight end is to make plays and be able to catch the ball in their radius, right, of catching distance and their wingspan. And they showed it yesterday, man. Brock Bowers jumped to get one of the ball at the end zone, almost scored, right? Devontae Adams, that Michael Jackson type catch right there with the toe tap on the sideline, that the ball was thrown out of bounds. Like, this is what the team is capable of. Even Jacoby Myers with some great catches. Um, Here's what the team is capable of, and you need to utilize them weapons, and that's what Gardner Minshew needs to know. Stop being in your own head and go out there and make the right throw and just good enough throw for your receivers to make plays, man. And Luke Getsy needs to continue to make calls like that, where they would be able to go downfield and get some yardage and continue getting some yardage. So, um, you know, obviously, right? Um, so we'll see, man. I think they're gonna keep Gardner Minshew. I think that um I think that Gardner Minshew in that fourth quarter kind of solidified his spot next week again. I think if he would have played bad again, I think we would have seen a little bit AOC. But just knowing how well he did, and in that fourth quarter, I think it's gonna continue in the Panthers game. And in the Panthers game, he needs to be able to, you feel me? He needs to be able to perform again, man, because time is ticking, man. And if he doesn't get it together, AOC might be the starting quarterback before the half of the season. And I predicted AOC will eventually be the starting quarterback. So I'm not asking for that. I'm just asking for him not to look like a deer in the headlights. Yeah, he looked better in the fourth quarter, but that's because they uh, rammed his ass at halftime. Max Crosby, man. Max Crosby came up to him and told him, hey, I got you. Just go out there and redeem himself. There was coaching staffs that were talking to each other. Um, a lot of things played a part there. Uh, 1-1 is better than 0-2. That's a fact. Our receivers are so good, but too bad our wasted draft pick tight end almost got 100. That's a fact. Mitchell looked like the lights came on in the fourth. He had some moxie going, man, and that's a fact. And shout out to the defensive play, man, and Spillane, Crosby, um, Merrick. Epps didn't have a good game either. I'm not gonna lie. Epps did not have a good game. I don't know about y'all. Epps did not have a good game. Epps did not have a good game at all. Epps looked pretty damn fucking bad. I'm not gonna lie. So just wanted to touch up upon that real quick. Epps didn't look too good, but shout out to Spillane, shout out to Max Crosby leading the charge over there for us. Shout out to Christian Wilkins, a couple things there. Jack Jones with a great play at the end of the day. Great play from Jack Jones at the end, where Isaiah Likely went on the sideline, caught it, and then Jack Jones punched it out, pretty much punched it out. Shout out to my 2-for-1 brother, Matt Raider, Twan in the video. It was good, Twan. Good to see you. Oh, fuck no. Shout out to Sentinel, but hell no. Hell no. I said salute to all the chat. Got to get ready for my life. Stay blessed, man. Stay blessed. If JPJ doesn't team practice on Wednesday, we got an issue they ain't talking about. That's a fact, Kevin Lurker. I'm hoping he could start, man, against the Panthers. I think it would be a good game for him to start. Wonder if we could go in to see Eichenberg on Sunday. I wonder, man. I wonder. I can't predict that. I hope he does, because at the end of the day, Diablo ain't doing good, man. It's time to give some. This Panthers game, and I'll continue saying it throughout the week. This Panthers game coming up is a perfect chance for people like Madison to get more carries, Lobby to get more carries, um, JPJ to start, the offensive line to get better, all these different things to get better, and the offense to get it going again and to be consistent so they could keep going down the line consistent. And I'm not saying take the Panthers lightly. That doesn't mean take the Panthers lightly at all, at all. But you need to go out there and you need to really goddamn show what depth you got and see who could work better. So, obviously we'll talk about it when we talk about it, obviously. Um, but you know. Oh, let me see. Hold on. There we go. Um, but yeah, keep 12 man, but sprinkle a little West Coast offense schemes to feed receivers. That's a fact, man. Feed your receiving core. Feed your receiving core. Feed. And obviously, moving on here, the Panthers game is the perfect day for Zamir to find his favorite city position on the bench. I feel that. Now, the key reasons why we won: the defense, number one. the adjustments in the fourth quarter and the end of the third quarter turns the second half. Um, and also getting at each other's face, man. Max Crosby went up to Gardner Minshew. Antonio Pierce went up to Luke Getsy. That's what I like to see on the sideline. When something's not working, help each other out, man. Go after each other and give some words to each other. Some tough love, man. Sometimes you need some tough love to step it up. And that's exactly what happened in the fourth quarter. And it's not how you start, it's how you finish, man. And at the end of the day, man, they finished off that game with the W. And you got to give credit to this coaching staff and this adjustments that were made at half and this adjustments that were made between the players. So that's for sure. Now, that was some of the key reasons why we won. We'll see, right? The spread worked this game, kept them from packing the box, and got Brock out in the flats without contact at the line. We need to run the spread more until our run game can get fixed. That's a fact. That's a fact. I feel like the Panthers game is the best game to run more double tight end sets and see how it works. That's a fact. Play actions kind of showed Gardner be have a lot of time in that pocket and even outside the pocket. So they need to run some of that double tight end sets, play action passes, man. Shout out to El Capitan Rafucho. Shout out to El Capitan. I want to see a little bit more Trey Tucker, by the way, man. Some deep throws, man. And I think he could get, I think he's been getting open. It's just the fact that there has been too much time for him to develop his run and develop his route running ability, obviously. But that was some of the key reasons why we won. Now the Raiders' future, y'all. And let me see if I could pull it up for you guys. Um, the next few games. And I think if this Ravens game is such a good confidence boost that we needed, in my opinion. And with the games coming up, it's a perfect time. It couldn't be at a perfect time. Let me see if I could get it for you guys real quick. Here we go. I'm gonna share my screen real quick. Let me see. See, do. That it? Yeah, it is. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me see if I can zoom a little. These are our next few games right here. I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me see if I could change this thing real quick. So y'all see it there, right there to your right. Y'all see it right there to your right. That's the next few games. That's the next few games. So you have the Panthers at home, the Browns at home, Broncos in Denver, and then back to Vegas against the Steelers. That's the next few games, y'all. To me, if this team plays like they did in the fourth quarter for majority of these games, that's 4 straight wins. Now, that's only if they play consistently, right? That's only if, because we play to our opponent, and that pisses me off that we play to our opponent. But if the team can be consistent, our future looks bright. And at the end of the day, like I said, home, away, home. We got 3 home games in the next 4 games. 3 home games in the next 4 games. And then obviously, you have LA Rams in LA, then Kansas City home, and then at Cincinnati, and then at Miami. And then it's home Denver, and then at Arrowhead, at Tampa Bay, and home at the Falcons, bro. And then we'll go on, so on and so on. Which I'm circling that Saints game, y'all. I'm circling that Saints game right there. That one's gonna be an interesting one for sure. That one's gonna be interesting. But these right here, these are games that we need to be consistent in. And if we're consistent, we could have a winning record, man, for sure. But that's only if. This was one game, y'all. And at the end of the day, I love this win. This win really, hey, I ain't gonna lie, was a much needed win. A much needed win. A much needed win, bro. A confidence boost. A game that shows this team, hey, we're capable of so much more. Now, the next 4 games is going to be really telling of this team, man. And I hope that they could be consistent because if the online could get it together If Gardner Mitchell could continue playing the way he played in the fourth quarter, and if the run game is going, the sky's the limit for this team, man. And I could only hope, right? I could only hope and pray. Um, I'm not saying it's guaranteed either. It is not guaranteed at all. So we'll see. One game at a time. April will not let this team look at any further than that max two. That's a fact, man. They need to be consistent. And the Panthers game, you need to give some more reps to these other guys. Shout out to SoCal Sal in the building. What up, SoCal Sal? Good to see you. Hope all as well. Shout out to Snoops Hernandez, Raiders to Death. Everybody coming in, man. I appreciate you guys coming in. I'm sorry if I skipped you guys. Get Bowers in the end zone versus the Panthers. That's a fact. Yeah, we lose to teams we should beat, and that shit bugs me. That shit bugs me too. That's if Getsy stops his love affair with everything behind the line of scrimmage, and that's a fact, Circus. That's a fact. So if the online protect and give Minshew time, we could win the next 4 games, and that's a fact. And that's if, right? If. And it's same with me. If. And I hope so. I hope so. I like how Max Crosby went up to Minshew and told him you got the defense, got you. That we got you, the defense got you. That's a fact, Robert Pena. I talked about it earlier, man. That's what I love to see. Antonio Pierce went on Luke Getsy's face too. And I love that. That's what's supposed to happen. We can't continue going down the line of being disappointed, being banged up. No, get in each other's faces, and it doesn't always have to be a fight, man. Sometimes you just need some tough love. Some tough love. Hey, you got this. We got you, but get it together. You're so much better than that. And that's exactly what happened, man. And you've seen it. You've seen it. You've seen it. They played way better. So of course, shout out to them, man. And shout out to his team. This is a much needed win, and hopefully they use this as a confidence boost into the next 4 games, especially with the back-to-back home games. Home opener against the Panthers, perfect for the atmosphere. The amount of Raider fans are gonna be there. With the culture that's getting built, I think that it will be a home game for us, because I know last year a lot of home games didn't feel like home games. I feel like the Pats game will be a home game, and I hope that we could get that W, man. And we should get that W, but the day we play to our opponents, and I hate that. So for me, again, I'm not going to give a prediction or anything, but if you play consistently and you continue to play the way you played in the fourth quarter, you could win some football games. You could win some football games. So, you know, only time will tell with that, right? Only time will tell with that. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, Max told Minshew we have one blind running back. Wake up, motherfucker. That's funny. But the Raiders' future looks bright, man, if they continue to play consistent football play. But we'll see, man. But great win again. Great win again. Some notable ass players that played well. Again, our offensive line looked shaky. Zamir White didn't look good. Our run game didn't look good, but a bunch of winners, a bunch of great players that played yesterday. Spillane, Bowers, Crosby, Adams, Carlson, and so on and so on. The coaching staff did better in the fourth quarter, but they looked pretty much dry in the first half. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I hope that they consistently continue good, and they consistently grasp on that fourth quarter. But only time will tell, right? So, of course, that was your post game, man. Like I said, I'm not under the weather today. So of course, it's gonna be a little shorter show than usual, of course. But I'll be back Wednesday for the full show, man. An hour plus on Wednesday for the 2 for 1 Nation podcast with me and Raider Twa, man, my brother in the 2 for 1 Nation. And then obviously, Saturday, it's gonna be Saturday for sure. Short live previewing the game on Sunday. And then Monday, obviously, I'm gonna start collabing with people and stuff like that, man. Get people on and stuff like that. And then I might add another show. I might take away Saturdays, because sometimes Saturdays I'll be doing stuff. So maybe Saturdays might not be the best time. So I might switch a Saturday into another show during the week where I could get somebody to come on and collab with. So I gotta come up with names and stuff like that. But obviously that would happen soon. Hopefully by next week I could do that. I'll be working on it. But besides that, yeah, I appreciate you guys for being here, man. Blessings to you guys and your families. Tough time never lasts, but tough people do. And you guys are also tough people, man. Life is too short, so always tell your loved ones you love them, man. Salute to you guys, man. And once again, happy birthday to All Eyes, man. Shout out to him. Old head, 52 years old, by the way, y'all. 52 years old for him. He's 52. Don't let him lie to you. But shout out to you guys, man. Great win all day, every day, man. And like always, again,
The autumn wind is a pirate.
And that's a fact, man. We got that win. We got that W. Just win, baby. Let's continue going down the line, man. See you guys Wednesday, man. 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern. I appreciate you guys for being here. Blessings, blessings, blessings. And on that note, y'all, this was the SC Raiders Talk, aka boy Eric. And I'm out. Let me see. Give me a second. Peace.
Commitment to excellence. There's a commitment to excellence. The greatest players could get the greatest coaches. The great games we've played in, the Flames